What's up, everybody? This is Chris, Music City Driver. I wanted to give a quick update. I know some of you last night probably saw the live update that I did, where I had a car wreck. Um, Totally ridiculous. I mean, looking back, it could have been way worse, honestly. If I had not reacted in time to slow down, because I was going the speed limit, which is around 45, I think it was. I honestly can't remember right there what the speed limit was, but I know I was watching my ways to make sure I was not speeding because there were cops, all over the place. So I didn't want to get a speeding ticket. So I'm always pretty careful on that. So if I hadn't seen that person out of my peripheral vision, coming across the double lane highway, I probably would have T-boned them. Um, well, I guess technically, if I hadn't slowed down, I might have. If I had accelerated, I might have missed them. I don't know because I hit the front right passenger side. So I don't know. It's hard to second guess it now. The other thing I'm kind of pissed about is my dash cam. Uh, it's supposed to lock the files, and it got everything, but it got everything after the accident, but not the accident itself. I don't know what the hell's going with that. But anyway, I'm pretty sure the cop thought it was a pretty clear case. I mean, I think it's illegal to do that, right? To drive across from one side of a two-lane highway with a turn lane in the middle and just shoot right across to another store right across the street. I don't know. Maybe it's not illegal. I don't know. But they didn't go into the turn lane at all. He could have just simply turned left, got into the turn lane and waited a second, and there was another drive, an actual little small side road that went into that service station. So I don't know what the hurry was. Well, he had to shoot across from Marathon over to Twice Daily, but whatever the case, it ended up in a collision, and his car took way worse damage. So as I said, I did last night. I stopped by a gas station on the way home, and I took pictures of all four sides of the vehicle, and then I took pictures of the damage, close-up pictures of the damage, and I sent that all in to LYFT support last night. And I did. I didn't hear anything back. I sent this about. I didn't get to bed till about 6 o'clock, so I just got up a little bit ago, like 1:30 or 2 or something like that is when I woke up. Naturally woke up actually because I had earplugs in, blindfold on, all that stuff. So and I drank this sleep thing that I drink that has melatonin and magnesium and 5-HTP and all that stuff in it. Anyway, so I woke up and I was like, okay, well, I don't see any emails from LYFT, so I decided to go ahead and email them and ask them what the progress was. And they said, I'm sorry for the delay. We have, after reviewing the photos, we determined that it's pretty minor damage, which I agree. We have decided to reactivate you. So I am now reactivated on LYFT as of Saturday morning, or, well, Saturday afternoon, I guess, technically. So I am good to go, and I still have time. However, last night when I was on the phone with a lady from LYFT support, when they deactivated me, I had accepted a ride, actually inadvertently because I had Mystro on. I had accepted a ride that was at Opryland. I was way up at Whites Creek, so it was kind of good distance away. So I was driving down towards Opryland, and when she told me I was deactivated, I said, look, I've accepted a ride. I'm on the way to pick them up. And it was actually a decent surge ride too. And she said, no, you can't because you are now deactivated. So I went ahead and canceled the ride. But when I canceled the ride like that, it actually affected my acceptance rating, and it went down to 89%. So I need 4 rides to complete the bonus, the guarantee rather. But I looked at my earnings. The guaranteed earnings were $895, and I am at $870 something dollars, $874 or something like that. No, $850 something dollars. Sorry. So I would roughly have $40 before I go over, and if I take 4 more rides, my acceptance may or may not be at 90%, and I probably will exceed the guarantee, which is actually not a bad thing, I guess. So I also got another offer on Friday from LYFT that told me if I completed a certain number of rides, those little diamond bonuses that they give you. So if you complete a certain number of rides, you get like $100. A certain number of rides, you get like an extra $150 or something like that. So I think, honestly, I'm just going to keep both apps up and run them both. Do as many lift rides as I can. Get some of those diamond bonuses as well if I can. I think I've gotten a couple of weekly hourly guarantees as well throughout the thing. I need to pay. I'm gonna be paying more special attention to those guaranteed hours. I'm gonna have to write down what I recommend everybody does on those guaranteed hours is to go through, and I might make a video on this, is to go through, excuse me, when you look at your app, you should be able to see which days you have guaranteed hours for, and then you need to group them according to the actual guaranteed amount. So say $20 an hour, $22 an hour, $25 an hour, group all those hourly times, each separate hour or 2 hours, whichever it happens to be, group those all together, and then you know which ones to target and not exceed your guarantee amount. So for instance, if you have two or three $20 an hour hourly guarantees on a Saturday, if you exceed the first one by $20, if you go over $20, just go ahead and turn off your app with 11 minutes remaining in the hour, as long as you've gone online exactly at that hour, and that way it will knock you out of that, and it won't screw up your averages. So, and then you can just start over again with the next $20 an hour, and then if you just get like one little $4 ride, you may end up getting $16 extra. Who knows? So anyway, I think it's going to be worth it for me to go ahead and soldier on and finish out those 4 rides. I doubt my acceptance rating will go up 1% with 4 rides. Maybe not. But I have a feeling by the time I hit those 4 rides, with tips included, and with it being the full ride payment instead of the actual fare I earn, I'm pretty sure I will go over that $8.95 mark. So it should not be. I won't get the extra money anyway, which kind of sucks. And I didn't even have that many plus rides. Honestly, I only had like 2 plus rides the whole time, and that's 60 something rides, which is odd actually. But I have had a lot of primetime regular lift rides and a lot of big tippers. I mean, I'm regularly getting $5 tips. I don't know. So, I think I've gotten almost over $100 in tips this week on 60 something rides. So, anyway, bottom line is I am officially reactivated. I am on both platforms, Lyft and Uber. Uber I didn't have on last night, the app, because out there was probably a slim to nothing chance I was going to get something on the way back in. I was going to wait till I got a little closer into town before I cut my Uber app on, especially till I got within the surge zone, because there was really not any point. I mean, I have occasionally got some rides out in the boonies, some XL rides from some bachelors who were at a bachelorette's Airbnb somewhere. I don't know. I've gotten that, have had that happen one time way up north of town, but so I didn't contact Uber because I didn't really have to. Honestly, I shouldn't have contacted Lyft, but so I'm assuming that our insurance companies are probably working out with each other there. The police report and all that stuff won't be ready for 3 to 5 days, I guess. And I hope that it's either no fault determination or his fault, because I mean, honestly, it was totally his fault, because there was just, I mean, he should have seen me coming and seen that there was no way I could stop in time if he shot and darted right in front of me, right across the freaking road. So, and like I said, I nailed him in the right front passenger. I'm actually really glad that he didn't actually go a little faster, and I was able to stop enough, because my vehicle is substantially larger than the vehicle that I hit. I have a 2008 Toyota Highlander, which is a mid-size SUV. It's like a crossover. It's not as big as like a Suburban or a Yukon, but it's also not small, and it sits up a little higher. And he was driving a little Dodge Caliber, like a 2008 or 2009 model, which is lower to the ground. It's just like a sedan, basically. I think they called it a crossover, but it's not nearly as big as the Highlander. So the weight difference was probably substantial between my car and that Dodge. So if I had not been able to slow down, I think we probably ended up impacting at around, or I impacted him rather, at probably, I don't know, I'm guessing 10 to 15 miles an hour. My airbags never deployed, neither did his. So it was actually relatively low speed. I mean, it cracked, a bunch of plastic stuff on the front of mine. crack the headlight, crack the grill. There's going to have to be some work done on my vehicle, and I'm sure my insurance premiums will skyrocket as a result. Anticipating that, even if it's not my fault. Hopefully, it's determined to be his fault, and maybe the insurance company will be lenient on me. But like I said, I have no idea what to expect, how much it's going to cost to get this stuff repaired, and if they will repair it properly. I have full coverage and all that stuff, but we'll see, I guess. Luckily, I don't have to have really a rental car or anything. I do have 3 vehicles at home, so if need be, sorry, my cat's right beside me. That was her tail. If need be, I can take another vehicle to work, my regular job. I just won't be able to do Lyft or Uber until I get. If I put it in the shop, I don't get it back out. I won't be able to do it, while it's in the shop. So I'm hoping that I can do that on a weekday. Maybe take it in on a Monday. Hopefully, be done by Wednesday or Thursday at the latest. I don't know. Maybe I'm being too optimistic there. I think basically just going to have to replace the front bumper, the left windshield, or the left headlight assembly, and maybe part of the left quarter panel. And the hood was a little dented on the end too. I don't know if they can straighten it out or not. They may have to replace the entire hood. I don't know. I hope not. But no mechanical damage that I can tell. But as far as like mechanical parts, it still steers fine. It still drives fine. I may need to get another alignment. I've got a lifetime alignment with Firestone, so that's not an issue. And I hope they don't have to replace my expensive Xenon bulbs I just put in. If they do, then like I said, it didn't blow the lights out or anything. Actually, in fact, I have every single light working on it, which is actually a shock. Kind of the fog lights even work. The bottom fog light on the bottom driver's side is where it is, and it actually, I just kind of popped it back in place, and it just kind of had come loose, and it still functions. So I guess I'm pretty impressed with the ability of the Highlander to withstand an impact. So it looks like it may have separated the side quarter panel on the front quarter panel from the hood just a bit, and that may have to be replaced as well. And I popped the hood at some of those little trim attachments, trim fasteners, basically kind of popped loose, and I put those in the door for later. They didn't look like they actually broke or anything; they just looked like they just popped out. I'm gonna go out here in just a minute. I just got up, got moving, did a little grooming on the beard and a little grooming on my head, took a shower and all that stuff. So I'm gonna go out there and take a look at it in a second and see if I can tell better the extent of the damage, because it was 3:30 in the morning when I was actually, maybe even later, maybe 4 o'clock in the morning when I was trying to assess damage in a parking lot. Well, it was 3:20 or something, I guess. When I was waiting for the cop to get there, I was looking around at it. And then he got there and he's like, "Hey, is your car okay? Is it mobile? Is it operable? Is it leaking fluid or anything like that?" And I said, "No." I just looked underneath and it was leaking some water from the air conditioner condenser, but that's all. There was no antifreeze leaking, no brake fluid, no oil, no anything leaking. So no power steering or transmission fluid or anything like that I could tell. So I'm going to check underneath the car again just to make sure nothing's leaking underneath. I may have to get out there and try to work on adjusting the headlights back up, because last night I noticed that it looked like my headlight was aiming a little bit down, but there is a wheel adjustment. It may have broken that. I don't know. We will see, I suppose. So anyway, guys, I just want to let you know that I am okay, and my vehicle has been reactivated. My driver account has been reactivated with Lyft, and I'm going to get these 4 rides and assess the situation right there. I mean, there's really no need in me not continuing at this point with just continuing to get more rides, especially with those diamond bonuses in mind. So I'm just going to try to get as much money as I can from those diamond bonuses and any other little bonuses that pop up on text that they show, $3 a ride, $4 a ride extra, minimum 2 rides, and all that stuff that they pop up every once in a while, and any average hourly guarantees that pop up. I'm going to try to go for those and be very vigilant about how I approach those, and just in general make as much money as I can. And I do want to thank Lyft for I I felt like I shouldn't have contacted them, honestly, after I did so. But when I did contact them, they were very professional and very nice and very courteous. And the lady did work with me because I was really mad because they wouldn't let me cash out my express pay because they put me temporarily on hold. And she was able to put me on hold, talk to a supervisor or something, and reactivate my account for like 10 minutes in order for me to do an express pay. And I did that. So I was able to get that money out of there. So I do thank them for that. And then they actually were really speedy in processing my reactivation. So I want to thank them for that too, because I sent those pictures. So I stopped at the gas station. It was probably about 5:15 in the morning or something. I took, both sides, front and back, and then a close up on the front where the damage occurred. And they responded back to me. I mean, I did have to prompt them again this morning, or this afternoon rather, when I woke up, to ask them what the situation was. But they did respond promptly and told me that I was reactivated, so that it appeared to be minor damage. So I was happy with their response. So kudos to LYFT. I have honestly been very impressed with LYFT as of late. I have never given this many rides. This is the most rides I've given in a week with LYFT, I believe, ever. The closest I got before, I think, was maybe 50 rides. And like I said, I'm at 61 rides now for this week. This will probably be the last day I drive this week because I don't usually drive on Sundays. I got to have some kind of rest, especially since I worked Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then today nights. So didn't stay out as late on Monday through Thursday, but I did stay out really late last night, obviously, and obviously there was a reason for that. I probably would have been at home a lot earlier if it hadn't been for that. So here's to tonight being uneventful as far as accidents go and profitable. So I know this has been a long YouTube live, 17 minutes, but I really appreciate you guys wishing me well after I had the wreck, and I'm just glad nobody was hurt. I mean, that's the biggest thing. If they had been going a little bit faster, or I had not stopped a little bit sooner, or I had not stopped when I did, if I had, if it had taken me more time, it could have possibly T-boned them and hit the passenger's door, and that could have been way worse because he did have a passenger in the passenger seat, and she was unhurt. He was unhurt. I asked them several times to make sure they didn't need any ambulance help. I mean, my wife was an EMT before, and I work, in the medical field too, so I know, something about medical stuff. I'm not a doctor by any means, but I do know quite a bit about the medical field. And they both, I mean, he appeared to be limping a little bit when he got out, but he said something about he had an old injury or something that was kind of acting up or something. So I was kind of like, okay. I was like, you sure you don't need an ambulance? He's like, yeah, I'm fine. And then she got out and said that she was fine too, that she was just cold. It was just cold out. It was cold outside last night. It was like 50 something degrees. So then the police officer arrived, and he also asked them if anybody was hurt. He asked me if I was hurt. He asked them if they were hurt, and they responded that they were not hurt either. So I would be very surprised if, they said it to me and they said it to the police officer that they were not hurt and did not need medical care. So all they needed was a tow because it jacked up their car. I mean, it was leaking fluids. It was, the right front tire was like turned. It obviously broke a tie rod end or something, or a ball joint or something. Who knows what happened, but it was not drivable back to Clarksville, especially. So anyway, guys, that's my update. I'm going to get off of here, go assess a little bit more damage, do any small little things I can do to make it look better and get my headlight adjusted back in normal, hopefully normal. It'll be hard to do, but I can probably shine it on the wall and in my house and see if I can get it kind of raised up a little bit so that it's properly aligned. So hope you guys have a great night. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Most of my videos are not 20 minutes long, I swear. This was just a special situation. So anybody out there, please be safe, be careful. I don't know if there's any ramifications from it or not, but I would possibly recommend in the future, if there is a minor accident, that there's just property damage involved, and it doesn't really affect the drivability of your car and it doesn't look that bad, You may want to just not consider contacting Lyft and just letting the police and the insurance companies duke it out. And I mean, the reactivation occurred pretty quickly, so maybe it is just better to be prudent about it and go ahead and contact them about it. Several people on here on the video last night were saying, "Yeah, I wouldn't have contacted them," blah blah blah. But I mean, the app was on. They could have had some liability, so it could come out later. You know what I mean? Like if there was any kind of, and you never know, if there's any kind of litigation anybody pursued or anything like that, then it could be, they could call that evidence in, and they could say, yeah, you were online with Lyft. Why didn't you report this? I don't know. I don't know. That's a far-fetched scenario, but I'm always err on the side of caution. So anyway, hope you guys have a great day. If you're going out and driving today, please be careful. Obviously, please be careful. Please, especially out in, I mean, this happened out in a rural area, so to me, I feel like it can happen even more out there than it does in the city sometimes. Just because there's so many things going on, you're constantly, and then like you're driving along and suddenly somebody darts in front of you. It's hard to tell, and plus that it's harder to see out there too. But it was I don't know. Anyway, I digress. Anyway, you guys have a good night, and hope you have a profitable night. And let me know in the comments or anything like that. You any questions? Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. And if you're looking to drive for Lyft or Uber, I do recommend Lyft over Uber. Use code MCD0328 to sign up for Lyft, and you'll get a $400 bonus paid out in increments. And I'll get a $400 bonus paid out in increments as well, $5.33 a ride. So hope you guys are doing well, and have a good day.